me, my stepdad, and my mom, we got pretty sick at one point. But they said I'm not in a high-risk group, so they weren't willing to give me a test. So I don't even know like if I got Omicron or not.
You might have had COVID.
Maybe. Impossible to get tested.
Whoa. Hi everyone and welcome back to another video and a special welcome back to Wes Davies.
Thanks so much, man.
I don't know about you guys, but I have definitely missed Wes this entire year. This is actually the first time I see you in 2022.
Yeah, that's true.
And today, as we are recording this video, is his first day out of the Taiwanese quarantine.
Oh man, it feels so good to be out of quarantine. I can't tell you.
And the first thing we do is to stay at home and recording a video.
Yeah, stay at home and record a video in the dark.
How does it feel to be back?
Back in Taiwan or out of quarantine?
What makes you happiest?
That's a trick question because I feel so happy to be back in Taiwan, obviously. I love this place. I really missed it while I was home in Canada, even though it was great to be home. But just that quarantine, man. Have you ever spent 2 weeks in one single room?
No, but I have listened for 2 months of Francois complaining about spending 2 weeks in one single room.
Felt like a prison cell. To be honest.
Really?
Yeah. Can't even walk outside the door. Just had a little window that I could poke my head out every once in a while. I understand why it's important. We're trying to keep people in Taiwan safe, but I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That was rough.
What was the biggest shock or surprise?
Maybe I just skimped out a little bit. I bought like one of the cheaper quarantine hotels.
Ah.
So the food was basically the same every day, just a very simple lunchbox, cold rice and cold vegetables. And like weird fish that, you know, you had no choice over what kind of food you could get.
Right.
I mean, I watched Christy Martin's video when she was in quarantine and her room looked nice and bright and her food looked really good. The food she had in quarantine, like every day she had something different, it seemed. So I didn't really anticipate getting so tired of the food.
Christy Martin, she brought her own Starbucks coffee to survive the quarantine.
Yes.
Did you bring anything, or like would you, like looking back to it, could you have prepared that period like a little bit differently?
I probably would have tried to get more like packs of instant noodles.
Very Taiwanese.
Yeah, I mean even the stuff at 7-Eleven is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I did get lucky. I did bring a lot of candy.
This is my favorite part. He was like, "Hey, do you want some candy? Some Canadian candy. Swedish berries."
One of my all-time favorite Canadian candies. Yeah. Oh, I brought like a ton of smoked oysters.
Did you bring oysters into like?
I don't know if you're allowed to. That's a good question.
I don't know, because like I thought that the customs were quite strict on like food and stuff. Like, next question.
Got it. You have to do 2 weeks quarantine, like where you're not allowed to leave your room at all.
Right.
And then 1 week where you're self-isolating. So for the past week, I haven't been able to go into restaurants. No night markets allowed. I wasn't able to go to Yanshui Beehive Firework Festival.
I saw Logan and Cole's video.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that was awesome!
Telling like Yuan, I was like, what the f? Wes was supposed to tell me, like, because I left a comment like 1 or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wes was supposed to tell me when this was happening because we were gonna go together.
Mm-hmm.
And then Yuan is like, yeah, but isn't he still in quarantine?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He came to Taiwan like 3 weeks ago already.
No, I wasn't supposed to go to that. I have to say they were really, really good. I got assigned a personal quarantine officer who was helping me through it.
Oh, wow.
So I could text her at any time of the day with questions I had. She would always ask me about my health, so she was very professional.
She checked up on you even when you like left the official quarantine.
Yeah, she was. The other problem was I just didn't think it was going to be that bad. You know, you think, oh, 2 weeks in quarantine, I can do some editing or read a book or something. But it's a bit mentally exhausting not being able to leave. Something about...
Did you like your first day when you like closed the door? Did it go through like your head like, I'm stuck for 14 days? Or was it like literally
It didn't kick in until 3 or 4 days later.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's my fault, by the way. I went for the 700 NT per night hotel. I think probably Christy Martin with her, you know, Fulbright scholarship program probably got a much nicer room than I did. Okay. So my advice would be, if you're going to do the quarantine, just pay that extra money to get a nice place because you're going to be there for a while.
Gotcha. When were you back to Canada last time?
It was exactly that. 2 years before that.
2 years. So it was the first time in 2 years you were back home. Mm-hmm. How was it to to
It was
meet
so
them.
good. It was so good. Just seeing your family again and being in your own bed. You know what it's like when you go home and everything's so familiar. Even the cold, I really enjoyed the bracing minus 15 degree weather because it's something we don't get in Taiwan.
And if you haven't seen it already, he actually just released a house tour.
Yes.
From your Canadian Owen Sound house tour, which brought me back some memories from my Swedish house. Especially the snow and then
look out the window, you just see a sea of white, right, and ice.
I love that, and the little like the creek or like the little river that you have there is like absolutely amazing.
I chose the worst time to go home. Like the day I land is when all the news of Omicron started to come out.
Oh, so Omicron was not a thing when you left.
It was starting to be a thing.
Okay.
I was hearing about it in the news, but it didn't really start ramping up until I got home. If you see that huge spike in cases, that's the exact time that I was home. We were getting like 30,000 cases a day in Canada.
Oh, wow.
The government shut down everything. You weren't allowed to go into restaurants anymore. COVID vaccine passport to go anywhere. All my friends were staying home because the government told us not to go out. And actually a bunch of my friends got COVID as well when I was home. So that aspect of it was a bit rough. I really couldn't see anyone.
Yeah, we should also mention that originally you did plan to be home, like you should actually still be in Canada right now.
Once everything got shut down, I realized I'm just going to be sitting here without being able to do anything. So I might as well come back to Taiwan where at least the virus is under control and I can go out, go to restaurants, see all my good friends here.
Some more positive aspects.
Yes, I feel like I've been really negative so far. Horrible quarantine hotel, can't see all my friends, 30,000 cases a day. I didn't get to have any poutine.
No poutine?
Because the restaurants got closed. But I'm going to try my hand. I bought some poutine gravy. So I will make this in Taiwan and maybe get a couple of my Taiwanese friends to try it with me. So that could be fun.
Amazing.
Yeah, maybe you can be part of that if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've ever had poutine actually. It's...
What? Yeah, and my mom, she actually, she's an artist. If you watch my video, you'll see. But she gave us...
An amazing artist.
Oh, she'll appreciate that. So I brought it with me to Taiwan. And then my stepdad, he just released 2 novels that he's written. I don't know, there's something in the water, I guess.
Exactly. Like your brother is an amazing musician. Your mom, amazing painter. Stepdad, I don't know if he's an amazing author, but I would assume so.
Oh, they're really good. Yeah.
So what are you good at? No, I'm just kidding. He makes amazing YouTube videos, which of course you can check out.
You're making me feel great today.
By clicking the link down in the description, of course. What was like the main thing that you have missed about Taiwan?
It sounds weird, but I miss getting exercise. In Kaohsiung, I got used to walking 8 or 10,000 kilometers a day. 8 or 10,000 steps a day. And then when you go back to Canada, you know, there's this much snow on the ground. It's minus 15, minus 20 some days. It gets dark really early. And then, of course, with the Omicron, they closed all the gyms.
Damn, yeah, it kind of sucks.
Now when I'm older, you know, in the future, I can tell my kids that I actually got to experience like real quarantine lockdown.
Right.
Real quarantine, because in Taiwan, we haven't really had that. I think we had it for
we had like 3 months like soft lockdown,
yeah,
I think.
But now I know what it's really like.
That's a great like stories for your grandkids.
And even like we got sick. Me, my stepdad, and my mom, we got pretty sick at one point. This was months ago.
Okay.
When I first got there. We couldn't get tested because there were so many cases per day in Canada that they ran out of testing kits. So all I wanted was one of these, you know, stupid little antigen tests that you can buy at 7-Eleven here.
Right.
We didn't have access to any of that. And I went to the pharmacies and asked them if I could get tested, but they said I'm not in a high-risk group, so they weren't willing to give me a test. So I don't even know like if I got Omicron or not.
You might have had COVID.
Maybe. Impossible to get tested.
Whoa.
So I think people in Taiwan, maybe they don't really realize how lucky they are that the healthcare system is so good here. And so I was thinking if I had known, I could have stocked up my suitcase full of antigen tests and made quite a bit of money in Canada because everyone was looking for tests.
I heard some rumors that you brought back some gaoliang as well.
Oh yeah, that'll be a fun video.
I can just imagine Wes like, should I pack my suitcase filled with COVID-19 tests or gaoliang?
Or gaoliang Joe. Couple of videos coming out on my channel where I made all my friends and family try those. I don't remember. I'll have to refer to the clips, but
you're finally back in Taiwan, and today is your, I would say, real first day.
Yeah, today is day 22. So I'm a free man.
So what's next then? Like what has been like the number one thing that I assume you must have thought about like basically every walking minute during quarantine? Like as soon as I get out, what would you do? Except making a YouTube video with Lukas, of course.
I would love to drive into the mountains.
Oh.
I really miss the nature in Taiwan, you know, when you get way up in those clouds and it's so nice out there. So a big scooter drive is definitely in the cards. And I heard you might be doing a big scooter drive in a month or two.
Yes. Actually, this weekend, as I'm spending here, I just spent like 2 days with Yuan from Tainan to Kaohsiung.
Yeah.
It's practice for my upcoming first Huandao, I hope. So I'm just here to scout a few places and...
Maybe I can join you for part of the tour?
I hope so. And I hope that you will join me as well.
Yes.
So if that is something that you want to see, please do make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see Wes, first of all, finally being back here in Taiwan, making some more scooter up in the mountain videos, and see his family try the Taiwanese delicacies of Kavalan whiskey and Gaoliangzhou, then please, of course, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Wes Davies as well. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. Starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.
See you later.